Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. My name is Jackie Radford. I'm a 42-year-old man in Pensacola, Florida. I was born and raised right here in Pensacola, Florida. The purpose in doing this YouTube channel is to reach out and help some people. I hope to help some people through my own testimonies. Now, I'm not talking not necessarily all spiritual testimonies, because I'll be quite honest with you, I'm not a man who can quote you the book from the front to the back. I like to think of myself as a Christian in progress. I learn more every day, the faith gets stronger every day, and I'm building. What I'm talking about is bringing to you real life testimonies and experiences that I have lived through, that I hope would help you. Primarily alcohol addiction. I myself have went through it, sitting on day 1678 of without any alcohol whatsoever. So I know it can be done, and I'm here to help. Maybe there's some things I can tell you and walk you through, and we'll get to all that in some other videos and talk about it together, and I can reach out and maybe help you. But that's what this video is for. As I said, I'm a 42-year-old man from Pensacola, Florida, born right here, born to two great parents. My parents married. My mother was 14, and they stayed married until she passed away in 2004 at the age of 46. My dad, one of the hardest working men that I've ever met. Primarily as we were growing up as kids, worked his way up in the site construction business right here in Pensacola, Florida, from the ground to now being one of the three partners in the company in which I'm partnered with right here in Pensacola. Being able to work with him for 26 years, I worked from the ground up as well, learned from him, been my mentor, my best friend, my coach, my life coach, so we've been pretty close throughout those years. I was very, very, very fortunate to have two loving parents in the same household. So, not everybody gets to see that, so especially today. As I mentioned, I was born right here in a little neighborhood. It's called Brownsville, right here in Pensacola, Florida. And why I mention that again, because I think it's important for everybody to understand where I come from. It's hard for you to take advice from anybody if you don't know where they come from, what their backstory is, what they've been through. I know me, I don't want to listen to anybody tell me how to swim if they've never jumped off the dock, because that, as we know, ain't possible. See, Brownsville was a community that was primarily an African-American community. Now, I'm never going to be the kind of guy that's going to sit before this camera and tell you that I know what it's like to be a minority in the United States of America, because I don't. Do I know what it's like to be a black man in America? No, sir, I don't. But what I can tell you is I know what it's like to not be able to walk down a certain street. And I know what it's like to know what time to be home. And I know what it's like not to go to the corner store by yourself, because I lived in that neighborhood. Now, I learned more from living in that neighborhood than I've ever learned in my life, because those are real life people. That's real life experiences. I learned what it's like. I learned how to treat racism with a different approach and a different attitude because of living that way. It has allowed me to be best friends with every race, gender, sexuality, whatever. I learned that we're not all the same simply by living in that neighborhood, simply by being at a ballpark called West Pensacola Ballpark, to where my brother, myself, and two cousins were the only white kids in the entire ballpark. I adapted, I learned. That has allowed me to be more open and listen and understand where our racism has gone in this country, and we're going to cover that in some videos too, I'm quite sure. It's just, it has to be addressed. So we're gonna cover that. That'll be in some videos down the road. Everybody has opinions on it, of course. Moving along, as I continued to play, I played sports. I played baseball. As I entered my high school years, I played for the high school team and at Escambia High School right here in Pensacola, Florida. Go Gators. I ended up playing a little bit of baseball at Jefferson Davis Junior College in Bruton, Alabama, on scholarship just for a short period of time before re-entering back, into the site construction, which I spent some summers working. So that's a little bit about me. As I said, the only reason I go into these things about myself is I think it's important for someone to understand who you are, where you came from. It's very important to me. You know, living in Brownsville and growing up in Brownsville and having a father who worked his way up, obviously I have gotten to see both sides of the financial ladder as well. Moving up, so to speak, moving up affected me in a more of a negative way than it ever did a positive way. And you say, well, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? What I mean is always living in the way of where you don't feel as if you belong. You know where you came from. So, in my own career, I've worked myself up from 1994 from a general laborer to now partner operations director in our company right here. I've had every position from the ground to now, but nevertheless, I still have the feeling at times to where I know where I came from. So I ask myself, do I belong here? And the answer is yes. Now, as I said, do I still have my times? Of course I do. But I know in my mind I belong. And I hope to be able to help some of you understand that you belong. If you want it and you dream it and you have a vision for it, go get it. Go get it. Don't let them hold you back. Because when you have a dream, that's all you need. Just dream and put out the work. It'll happen. In 1994, I started out in our industry at $4.75 an hour holding a stop and go paddle. Okay. And I just never let nobody tell me that that's where I was going to end up. That's where I was going to stay. I just kept going. Whatever the next person wasn't doing, that's what I was doing. So that's what I want you guys to do, being sober and alcohol free has let me understand that I belong. While I was in the middle of the drinking, and when I tell you drinking now, people, I mean drinking, $1,200 a month. So when I tell you you're living in the middle of that, you can't understand how you belong. You can't understand that all you got to do is reach for it. All you got to do is have goals and a vision board. Put it up there, write it down. The Bible even says write it down. So write it down, dream it, live it. You can do this. So alcohol will be a pretty big topic throughout many of these videos because I remember how impossible I felt. It felt like I could never quit. I remember that. I don't want people to feel that way. So if there's some things that I can say that can help these people, whoever it may be, then that's what I want to do. I want you to understand I've been there. I've been in the shoes of, I probably quit 20 times before I really quit. So I understand, I get it. I know how hard it is. I've been there. And I know how it feels to say, what will everyone think? Can I do it? Yeah, you can do it. I promise you. I lived that whole thing of not knowing. And the truth of it is, if it wasn't for Jesus Christ, I wouldn't be sitting in front of this computer right now staring at this camera and talking in my hopes of helping someone, but it's always been a passion of mine. I've always told myself it does you absolutely no good to reach the top of a hill if you can't turn around and teach somebody else how to reach it with you. So if I can help somebody, man, that's what I'm here for. That's what these videos are going to be about. I can go on and tell you some stories after stories of alcohol addiction that in my own life. And like I said, we're going to get to that. There will be several videos to cover that, I'm sure. It's the backbone of my testimony. So I hope you tune in some more. I hope this first one here is a kind of an introduction type video to let you know where I'm at, where I stand, what I'm about, where I would like to take you. Maybe it's not you, maybe you know somebody, and you can say, hey, you can click on this. It might help you to hear some positive words. We all know we live in a society today where media would rather produce negative all day long. They'd rather shove negative on our TVs. So, hey, let's bring a little positive to it. And if that's what I can do, and maybe you can bring a friend along and say, hey, click on this channel, man. This is some positive information, some positive, little pep in our step, so to speak. If that's what I want to do. That's the goal here. Stay focused. Like I said earlier, in life, reach out and do what the others are not doing. And you will see. My goal is to help. And I don't think that's such a bad thing. So we're going to shoot to do this every Thursday. They're not going to be long clips because, I myself am a YouTuber. I watch all kind of YouTube videos, Steve Harvey, Eric Thomas, E.T., Matthew McConaughey. I watch all kind of inspirational, motivational type videos and speeches. Denzel Washington, and if one is 30 minutes long, it's going to take me a little bit to watch it because hey, we all got lives. We all have things to do. You know, I watch every one of the Robertsons from Jace Robertson, Phil. I watch their speeches as well. I will watch speeches and motivational videos from all different political views. How else will you ever learn how someone you disagree with thinks unless you watch or ask someone who you disagree with? I think we all need to understand that we are more similar with the people who we think we're not the same with than we think we are. It takes a conversation, a handshake, a cup of coffee. Turn your TVs off. Turn your Facebook off. Turn your social media off. Talk to your neighbor. You will find there's a lot more in common than you think. And we're going to have some videos about that as well. You know, I can't wait. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to start this channel. And I'm going to learn about it. I'm not a computer tech savvy guy, but I'm going to learn and I'm going to bring it to you guys and hopefully help some people out. So that's where we're at with this video. It's just an introduction type video to where I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I want to tell you a little bit about where I'm going with this video, and hopefully it'll help someone along. And, you know, there's going to be some hot topics. And as I said, and I'll say it again, alcohol addiction will be one because of every male in the Radford side of the family, for the most part, and generation before mine, were addicted to alcohol. Now, whether they want to admit that or not, that's another discussion. But I lived it, and I understand it. And I understand what it's like to be one, and I understand what it's like to be away from it. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I was so blessed that the good Lord brought in an amazing woman in my life that I married at the age of 40. She is my best friend. I love her with all my heart. You're going to hear a lot about her too. And look, I just hope you guys tune in again. Like I said, we're going to try to do this every Thursday. They won't be very long. 10, 15 minutes maybe. And just some real positive type clips that hopefully you can click on and hear on your Bluetooth, maybe with your Beats or your earbuds or whatever you have, and it'll make you smile and push on through your day, you know, because it's worth it. This life's worth it. Live it. It's yours. You know, if you want it, write it down, dream it, go get it. There's a lot of positive things in this world, and we need to experience them. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys again next Thursday. Be kind and love one another.